What up? My name is Jade Fox and this is the Madeyoulooks channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my top inspo. This is a very cute, very simple, easy video. This is one of those videos where you sit back and you agree with me or you disagree with me. I love those. This is going to be going through some of my IG pages that I constantly go to just for a quick little outfit idea. I'm about to go to dinner, I'm about to go to something, and I have a sweater and I was like, oh, I saw this person with a sweater similar to this. Let me see how they style it. Let's get into it. So first and foremost, what I'm gonna need everybody to do is put some respect on Diane Keaton's name. Yeah, Diane Keaton has been giving us consistent looks for years. The way that she does these really simple looks, but it's very intentional, like what she chooses to be bold or what she chooses to be kind of like the focal point of the video is just, it's very intentional. So I'm looking at this look right now. One thing about Miss Keat, she gonna give you a big ass hat, always. Even before Pharrell, he was doing it. Diane Keaton was giving you a big ass hat. It's like old money if old money had a creative job. That's what this gives me. Her styling is just always it's never too much, never too little. Even this really simple black look with this turtleneck, this giant belt, and these wide leg pants, girl. On top of the fact that also we got some bracelets, I think. Whenever I see a Diane Keaton look, I'm never like, oh, she's dressed her age. She's just dressed like D. She's dressed like Big Keat. Her looks also aren't really that feminine. It's like they are, but they're they lean more masculine than feminine most of the time. Now this all white with the pearls going crazy. This fit with the baggy jeans, the hat, a simple black belt. She loves a belt. And this duster jacket. It's just so effortless. And she almost, I would say, has a bit of a uniform. She's always going to give you a nice waist belt, a cool little layering jacket moment. It leans very menswear to me. But similar to me, she loves a nice wide leg pant. So don't sleep on Miss Keat, because does she dress like she kind of, owns an orphanage in London in the 40s? Yes. But is that not a vibe? I don't know. It's a vibe to me. This isn't even the fit I was looking for, but this shit goes crazy too. So this next person is someone I started following, I would say maybe during the pandemic for sure. And they speak to my kind of 2000s oversized boy band, kind of I would say 90s Stussy kind of vibes. Summertime for sure is when I tend to go to their page a lot more. And that is Wide Awake Earthquake. If you go to this person's page, it's a lot of sneakers, it's a lot of streetwear leaning pieces, but this is very much my vibe. And it's nice to see people who I don't think my style is necessarily the most unique thing you've ever seen in your life, but it is nice to feel like you have inspo that likes to dress in the acute way that you like to dress. And that's the vibe that I get from this page. I just like how she makes things feel bigger and cooler. Just the way that she puts her pieces together. They just seem fashiony, but also streetwear. I think that was an issue that I used to have when it came to dressing up sneakers, because I love sneakers, but I don't always want to wear them with hoodies and jeans. I want to wear sneakers with more fashion forward types of outfits, and I want to wear my more streetwear leaning pieces with more within a more fashion forward context. And I like to experiment and stuff like that. And so as I'm experimenting, I tend to go to her page a lot. She wears a lot of her shit oversized. And she just has cool pieces, just really cool pieces, great bags, accessories. And it's very expensive, which, you know what? Hey babe, more power to ya. But yeah, will I be wearing, Louis Vuitton denim jeans anytime soon? Probably not. But yes, this is someone that I go to quite a bit. And just even this fit, it's so simple. It's so regular, but it doesn't feel regular. I think those are the people that I tend to see the most or get the most out of. It's just people who are not trying that hard, but just, it looks so well thought out. Y'all already know who this is. I feel like I used to use a lot of his pictures at the beginning of this channel for like inspo as I was talking through things. Darian Famous, he's one of those, like, I don't go to his page as much anymore. I do feel like his outfits are like more for like fall, winter, but he just can dress his ass off. And it's so simple, you know, like sometimes I need inspo that isn't really gonna intimidate me that much because it will make me feel like I need to go buy something, or like, I don't know, just like sometimes looking at inspo makes me feel bad. And I need to unpack that. But just like these really simple fits, I feel like if you ever are in need for like a dinner fit, go to his page. And I appreciate the fact that he's a menswear kind of like streetwear vibe, but he does have, in my opinion, an eye for fashion, and it's just an eye in general for styling and ways to make his fits, even if he's wearing like he's wearing, I'm sure, the Bottega lug boots in this photo. Just make them feel not as head ass. I feel like there's people that I see on my explore page a lot where it's like, I already know they're gonna get, you know, whatever the most coveted collab sneaker was that came out. I already know they're gonna have it. You know, they already got Pharrell's like Louis V pieces, you know, en route to them right now. It's like, there's always gonna be those people that are gonna have the newest, latest thing. But I can appreciate someone who has a newest, latest thing, but it's still within their universe. Like the whole outfit isn't just putting the weight into like the big expensive thing. And I feel like he has a way of styling pieces that feel less head ass to me. Even though, you know, I'm sure he's wearing chrome hearts or whatever the fuck he's wearing, you know, these tabby shoes, it still feels like him. It doesn't feel like he got them just to have them. It feels like he got them for his personal style. And that is really important to me because I never want to feel like I just got some shit on for no reason. This next one is a little surprising because it's another little oldie, but he be dressing his ass off. This man, his name is Ernesto, and I believe he's a kind of traveling creative director, or maybe I know he works in fashion, and I know that he works for the brand 44 Group, or like 444 Group, I think that's what it's called. But I've seen him post stuff just about collabing with a bunch of different creatives and a bunch of other brands. And so I'm assuming that he's some type of like freelance creative director of some kind. This man, when it comes to like formal menswear, he has a way of kind of remixing them and accessorizing them to feel a little bit more interesting and like they have a personality behind it. Like this look, it's a super simple look. And once again, I noticed he's another like older dude, but dresses in a way that is like not so predictable. Even like with this skirt and these, maybe they're like Fear of God sandals or something. Like they just feel elevated and cool to me. It's a lot of loose suiting, cool jackets, layering stuff. Now this may not be your personal preference, and I totally understand that. But this is just a guy that I tend to go to when I'm trying to figure out how to dress up a blazer, because he just wears them all the time, but in ways that look really cool to me. And I also like the way that he chooses his accessories, because they tend to lean on the natural side. Like even in this post, it's like, it looks like there's like a stone in the middle of there, like almost like a Western vibe. And I really like turquoise and like those kind of like Southwestern themed pieces myself. And so, you know, I find a lot of the things that I like in his outfits, and they just work so well together. But yeah, if you're just looking for a menswear vibe, but one that's got some interest, some uniqueness, definitely check Ernesto out. Like even this gave me the idea. Actually, I'm not gonna say it, because if I do it, I don't want y'all to take my idea. But like, he inspires me. Also, never underestimate the impact of a pair of sunglasses. Because this man, I don't think he has eyebrows. He may not have eyes, but I don't know that. This next page is less of a inspo page and more just so like inspiring and like just truly inspiring, just on a general level. Savant Studios, this is a brand that's based out in New York. They do these trucker hats, these Savant Studios trucker hats. and a bunch of different colors that you'll probably see on Instagram, or that you probably have seen on Instagram. And how do I describe it? It's very like upcycle vibe, almost like a thrifty kind of unfinished vibe. A lot of textures going on, denim, fading, paint, like paint splatters, workwear. And that's just the general vibe that I get from this brand. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a cross between like Greg Lauren and like Bodhi. And mostly I just see them take photos of people who enter the store. And the people who go to the store, I've never gotten a chance to go to Savant Studios or purchase anything, but I really do want to. People that enter the store, just the most swagged out people you've ever seen. And usually the looks that I see have a lot going on. There's like a few statement pieces happening, going on at one time. There's knits, there's button downs, there's leather pants, there's cargo pants, there's, you know, like yarn things, there's bedazzled chucker. There's just a lot happening, but it doesn't feel like gaudy or too much. It's definitely got that nice casual vibe, even though there's a lot of attention to detail. I don't have any personal experience with any of the pieces myself though. I would love to, but yeah. Denny, not Danny, Denny. This fool can dress. He takes on kind of sometimes 70s inspired, sometimes it's more 90s inspired, sometimes it's 50s, 60s. But he does menswear in such a fun way. Like you just don't see guys dressed like this. You know what I mean? Like he's less of someone that I look to for direct inspo, and more so just someone who inspires me to think bigger or differently when it comes to menswear in general. Similar to like Diane Keaton, how she embodies her own kind of lane within menswear. I think Denny does as well. Also, a fellow East Coaster out here doing the damn thing. It's very like classic and timeless, because I feel like he takes that kind of like timeless fashion conversation and just makes it a little less predictable. Because I think people who preach about like capsule wardrobes and timeless fashion, like things can start to look a little redundant, which is why I personally don't do it. I would get bored. And he just is constantly mixing up what I think won't look good. Like he's constantly putting on things that I'm like, in theory, this shouldn't look good, but it looks good. Like even this outfit that I'm looking at right now, he's got on shorts and a button down underneath like a graphic tee. Like, why does this look good? It should be weird, but it looks good. Even like this, creating this kind of like Canadian suit vibe, throwing on the hat, and just like Doc Martens, which are like an interesting choice of shoe to wear with this, but it still works. His eye is just really crazy to me. Like his eye is, I would wear the shit out of this outfit. And I can't even really describe to you what it is. Like I can't tell you like what genre of clothing this is, but he is consistently just putting some shit on that is surprising me. And I feel like in 2023, it's hard to find that. And he's not necessarily like a maximalist, or like he's wearing a million things, or he's wearing, you know, like a bunch of statement pieces together. Like the things that he's wearing are fairly simple. It's just the way he puts his shit together, and just the way his shoe choice is also like really interesting too. Like even his like summertime stuff hits, and he switches it up too. Like even this is like, I would say probably the most regular or like explore page looking fit that he could put on, but it still feels unique to him. It still works with, you know, everything else that he's got going on his page. And this is old. This is back in March. I think the reason why point of view is so important to me is because it's something that actually like is sticky, I use that a lot, that term a lot in my work when it comes to like marketing and branding, but also art direction, because it's easy to come up with something that's like cool. It's easy to come up with something that's interesting, but it's hard to come up with something that is sticky, something that people are want to go back to time and time again. Something that resonates in a way where you're excited for when you see it again, or for like the next iteration of it. And he inspires that part of my personal style. Is just like, beyond just looking good, like what is something that I can go back to? What is something that I'm going to feel good in a year from now? What is the impact of the clothes that I'm wearing? And I know that that sounds like, I think depending on your perspective, that can sound a bit shallow. But as someone who is queer and black and 4C, and I don't look, you know, like the average girl, and I have these huge boobs and like, you know, a little butt, and just like having to figure out everything from scratch all the time, like not being able to just go to that one section of a magazine, or not being able to go into that one section of the store and just like, I can see the thing that I need in the advertising. I can see the thing that I need in the offerings themselves. I feel like because I'm never fully represented in anything, I just have to always like carve out my own lanes within these different like avenues of my life. And so when it comes to clothing, I take it seriously, because it's like, it's something that I've just been working on for a long time. It's something I've been thinking about for a long time. It's something that I'm still like creating, and knowing that I also have a voice in androgynous fashion, just with this channel and just with the work that I've done, period. Like, I don't know. I take it seriously. I don't play about it. So yeah, following people like this is really inspiring for me, just on a fashion level, but also as a creative. This next person, my girlfriend actually put me on to this person. So this page is definitely like new, because as you can tell, I don't follow a lot of like very feminine fashion people. But the way that this girl's fashion is feminine is different than I've seen before. There's a lot of play when it comes to shapes and textures that oftentimes doesn't even feel feminine or masculine to me. It just feels androgynous in general. And she just has these like stunt pieces that I'm like, bitch, what? Like, this belt is crazy. Just like the amount of volume. I think my biggest takeaway from London Girl NYC is just like, you can do fashion shit on a regular. Like, if a jacket has a lot of volume, or if a skirt is just like really, really, like it's a lot, right? Who says that you can't wear that on every day? I posted in one of my videos where I showed y'all those like Betsy Johnson glittery boots. I think I said, I was like, oh, I'm only gonna wear this to the Beyonce concert. And one of y'all commented like, oh, you can wear those anywhere. And sometimes I think I just need to be validated for a second though. And I need to see someone wearing something. I mean, granted, this is Instagram, it's not real life. But I need to see someone wearing something that's a lot out in public so that I feel better doing it. And there also is like true inspiration to pull from some of these looks too. It's just like, I don't do a button down underneath things like ever, pretty much ever, because when you have a bigger chest, that tends to look a little bulky right here, which is why I don't do it. But now that I've seen this photo, I can be like, oh, I can do it. Maybe I just wear a thicker jacket on top so that it hides a bit of that bulk. She'll just take one thing and it's feminine, but the rest of the outfit is fairly androgynous. I feel like that's the case with this outfit right here. Pretty much the shoe is the only thing. And look at these pants. And she's just wearing it with a simple white tank top. I think it's just like, she gonna wear her clothes. And I appreciate that about her. And I love to see people do the fucking most. But also like similar to this first look, doing the most within reason. Like doing the most, but like, okay, girl, we are going to Target. You know what I mean? And finding out a way to style it so that it is more comfortable and more like functional for the day. I think that that's really cool. And so definitely check out London Girl NYC. My girlfriend thinks that she looks a lot like Madeyoulooks, which she does. But I would argue that Madeyoulooks is a little bit more feminine. But like even this fit, like I'd wear the shit out of this outfit. I'd wear the shit out of this outfit, guys. And this is just like trousers, a gray shirt, and a long coat with a backwards cap. Like there's just so much to pull from. Thank y'all for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on who you think I should follow, because I need to follow more people on Instagram. I just started putting my saves on TikTok into collections, so your girl is behind. So if there's anyone that you think that would be a good person to follow, definitely put it in the comments. And if there's anyone else that I forgot of, I will also put them in the comments. And so I will see y'all very soon in another video. Do not forget, wear what you want. Wear what you like, wear it out. Bye.
How come you don't want
trucker hats, t-shirts, and sweatshirts? hillfoxclub.com. All of my content is sponsored by my patrons, so thank you to my patrons for supporting my content. If you want to be down with the crew, it's only $5, but if you want the vlogs too, that's $10. So hit me with the 10, come through, and be part of the family.